Yeah, you better make it good, because you're setting the bar.
Otherwise, this is going to be the worst birthday ever.
I have one.
Come back. Oh, yeah, here we go.
What's your favorite line of a movie?
Pitchfork.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was so clever.
Green camera.
Okay, great.
Or phone.
Sorry, I'm pulling a Mallory. Also, thank you for letting me be an extra in
Oh,
the homecoming scene.
How many were in it? Thank you so much. Saved so much money.
So, I know you've said that Rebel was a really late casting. So who did you have in mind in case you didn't find the perfect person?
Really, no one. Not really anyone. She was based on one of my friends in high school, and we thought maybe we thought maybe we'd have her come and do it, but we really didn't have anyone else in mind because it's such a specific character. So no, she really kind of was. It was an absolute miracle because she was literally cast like 14 hours before she started shooting.
It was perfect.
Yes. Yes, I will get. So I'll give more accurate descriptions.
Wow, now I'm drawing a blank. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations for winning a People's Choice Award.
Yeah.
The question is, it's been bugging a lot of people online. If Carson died in the parking lot, how did he end up under the tree?
Oh, because he drifted. Because it rains, and in the original screenplay, like there is a scene where he just drifted for like a minute, and it was just I thought it was funny. And then like his voice is like, "There I am, floating over there. Oh, there I go. Oh, there I go again." But no, because he drifts, and I think there's a little scene where he drifts a little
I
bit.
must have messed that part in the book.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, he's obviously.
Red shirt and bangs. This is fun. I like.
I was wondering what was the funnest scene that you had to film, and also what was the hardest one for you personally?
Ooh, most fun was probably the homecoming scene. Thank you for making that happen. And the hardest was probably I don't know, probably any scene with the kids because they're all my age and I was very, very intimidated by them. They're all so talented and I was terrified that they didn't like me, which I know now they all like me, so that was nice. But no, yeah, I think I was like, I don't know, I think, there's just always that extra pressure when you're among your peers or people your age.
Okay, glasses and black sweater.
I was just wondering, what was the biggest difference between acting, for the movie versus acting every week for Glee?
It's so funny because our schedule was insane for this movie because we shot it in 16 days. So we were doing 8 to 12 scenes a day. But it was a much lighter schedule than Glee. Like the first day we filmed a whole day and I still had time to go out and eat dinner. It was crazy. And Glee it's just such a roller coaster. From the minute you step on set, you're singing, you're dancing, you're acting, you're all day until from the sun comes up when the sun goes down. So there really wasn't too much of a difference, except I feel like the movie schedules are maybe a little more easier because there's an end in sight.
Makes sense. Yes, sir. Yes.
Straying from the movie, what advice would you give to people trying to get into showbiz, whether it be film or live theater?
Oh, I think a big thing is you have to ask yourself that it's the craft that you're after, because I think a lot of kids are after other things, and then it's like you don't want to be after those other things, and then find yourself in a position where you're like, oh, I don't like doing this. Why am I here? So I think the biggest advice would be to ask yourself, make sure you're in it for the craft itself, because you like to act, because you like to portray the characters, I don't know. I mean, I'd say find what makes you unique and use it to your biggest advantage. Yeah.
I like that. Yes, right in front of him. Yes.
Okay. Do you think?
Okay, we can do that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Front row.
Oh, me? Oh, sorry.
You're on
Um,
spotlight.
do you think that you would ever do Broadway or live theater ever in your future?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Love to. I'm kind of itching to get there. But
Yeah, what role?
well, I really want to bring Shirley Todd to Broadway.
Yes.
someday.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it'd be funny to do a spoof
already
of
got one
Sweeney
crown.
Todd, which is one of the best musicals of all time. You'd be the jackass that spoofs it, but it'd be fun. I think it'd be Book of Mormon-esque.
And you can.
Would you join Writers Club?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Because, I mean, I'm sure we could find some dirt on you.
Get it, Sammy.
I have an actual question, though. I was wondering what happened to Mom, or Cheryl, at the end of the
Well, in my mind, she, unfortunately, losing her son causes her to really reevaluate, take another look at her life. And I think in my mind, she always kind of like joins like a grieving support group, but she ends up being okay, and she gets kind of reunited with her mom. So I think the mom and the grandma end up being closer because of his death.
I tried to dress as Carson, by the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, you look great, great.
Yes, great job. Good.
I think you kind of answered this already, but aside, you created Alex and Connor, and because we do that as Carson right now, do you have any other characters that you've determined to create, like from your childhood, or is like anything from now going to be kind of new?
Oh, that's a really good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say 90% of everything that I will be pursuing to do the next decade have all come from being a kid or high school. Like every single seed was planted then, and it just kind of become lifelong goals to do. But like the whole Asylum movie, that was just something that I literally was watching TV and I thought, oh, that's interesting. Well, how come men are never allowed to do that? I'm gonna write it for myself. Like that was all that it came from. So I get inspired along the way. But I'd say yeah, majority is all stuff from when I was most of your ages.
Purple beanie situation. Come on, I wish I knew all of your names. And then we
Hi,
could-
Chris. This is kind of a random question, but would you ever consider playing or writing for like a serial killer type of person?
Yes.
Oh. You'll have to watch the next movie.
I don't know.
The very last row, all the way in the back on the end.
Okay, so you've written novels and screenplays, and I was curious if you've ever tried writing for television. So what kind of show would you like to write for?
Absolutely, and I wrote for the Disney Channel. That was fun, and it was fun to work for the mouse. And even though they didn't want to do another magic show so closely after Wizards of Waverly Place, so they didn't pick it up. But yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yes. Yellow shirt and sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Mustard.
Yeah.
For casting, did you consider any of your Glee castmates?
No. No, because I feel like you just can't do that because then it becomes like a joke. You know, it's like you can't. It's just been like a gimmick. You know, but maybe down the line I'd love to work with all of them again in other projects, but not for the first one. Yeah.
Yes. Almost all the way in the back on the right.
This is actually a random stories question. I was wondering, you were talking about like how people don't know the true, like the Little Mermaid, and so, there's sad endings, and people don't know quite the real stories. But then in Land of Stories, you kept like Cinderella's slipper, which was originally gold glass.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, like, how did you make those decisions on like what to keep, what the general public knows, and what to keep to the original?
It was a balance because actually Cinderella, there's two versions of Cinderella. There's a version of where she has a gold slipper, and in that version also there's no fairy godmother, and the tree gives her a dress. And then there's also an updated version that was in like the mid 1800s that came out that was really popular, where the glass slipper and the fairy godmother were incorporated. But it was just a kind of a balance because you also don't want to completely. I didn't want to completely change the way people saw these characters. I wanted to kind of educate them on on what they were originally. But yeah, Cinderella was hard too. But also, I did want to include the fairy godmother and the glass slipper. So I used more almost like the second to last original story rather than like the original tale.